Only when the last tree has died, and the last river has been poisoned, and the last fish been caught, will we realize that we cannot eat money. Pollution is in fact an incurable disease and can only be prevented. One of the biggest threats to our environment in the realm of pollution is single-use items such as plastic water bottles and plastic bags. Americans use about 50 billion plastic water bottles last year. However, the United States recycling rate for plastic is only 23%. This means 38 billion water bottles are wasted each year. Most of this plastic will either end up in landfills, in our oceans, or scattered amongst the streets. These plastics are very harmful to the animals that consume them, thinking they're food, and have the potential to destroy ecosystems. Plastic will not only destroy the lives of animals, they will decimate coral reefs and damage human health as microplastics enter the food chain.
Not only is plastic slowly killing away our environment, but it is extremely wasteful economically. 38 billion plastic water bottles translates roughly to more than $1 billion worth of plastic. The creation of plastic water bottles and other single-use plastic products uses several valuable resources that could be repurposed elsewhere. The production of bottled water uses 17 million barrels of oil a year. That's slightly more than it would take to fill 1 million cars a year with fuel. It also takes 3 times the amount of water in a bottle of water to make it as it does to fill it. On top of all of this, almost 2,000 times the energy to manufacture a bottle of water than it does produce tap water. If we could stop the production of these single-use plastic products, then we would be saving water, energy, and money. Crazy, right? I wanted to see what students and faculty at Syracuse University thought about plastic pollution. The university strives to reduce emissions and pollution, but obviously there is more that can be done. We decided to meet with students and faculty from diverse backgrounds. Hearing their beliefs and opinions are crucial in understanding where the university stands. We asked simple questions, ranging from how often each individual recycles to opinions of potential policy. How often do you recycle on campus or in your dorm?
So we have an actual recycling bin inside of our room in my quad, and we actually recycle every day.
I recycle every day. I have a recycling bin in my room, and I always try to recycle every time I have an empty bottle or something.
Well, I recycle on campus every day. I have all the professors are given blue bins, and I have one, and so I do that every day, and someone picks it up at the end of the school day, and at home once a week, because that's when they pick up the recycling.
I'd say to the best of my ability, I recycle as much as I can. If it's available, then I'll try to recycle.
I like to think I recycle a decent amount. I go out of my way. I don't unconsciously just throw everything away, so try my best.
I recycle pretty often. Whenever I have paper, when I'm working in a new house, I'll usually recycle it if one of those bins are nearby. I'll recycle plastic bottles in cans whenever I'm in my house. So yeah, I think I recycle pretty often.
Do you believe there can be more things done on campus to advocate for recycling?
Yes, I believe that the recycling cans could be a little bit more apparent, because right now they're just a shape on a universal trash can. I also believe that sorting could be upgraded. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that recycling bins are kind of hard to find, and there aren't very many of them. So if there were more of them and they were more prominent, I think that would be better.
I think what one needs to do is to simply make people aware of the problems that go along with not recycling, and take a very hard inventory of some of the items that might be everyday items in the cafeteria or that we use, like plastic, that we never think twice about, but which are serious, can become an environmental problem. All of us have that problem, plastic especially.
I think we do pretty well with recycling opportunities on campus. I think the university could make more of an effort to decrease its use of plastics, such as the use in food services and such.
I personally don't know any other methods, but it'd be interesting to go to some more progressive universities and see what their recycling policies are. I guess there could be more done on campus. I could see there to be more done.
Yeah, I think that it could be encouraged for people to recycle like above every trash can, and I think that maybe subtle reminder could help. But yeah, I definitely think there are more things that could be done on campus.
Do you think there's a problem on campus regarding pollution?
I don't know that there's a problem on campus regarding pollution in particular. I do think some of the class buildings, some of the classroom buildings are usually too hot or too cold, especially too hot. And they can be too hot in the summer. So I think that there's more a question of old buildings, which were made before people were very conscious of energy conservation.
There definitely is a huge problem on our campus regarding pollution. I feel like since our school is known to be like a party school and also really Greek oriented, and there's like a lot of parties on campus, a lot of like on the weekends you'll see lots of garbage all over the campus, like red Solo cups, beer cans, and I feel like we should be able to advocate more to recycle on the weekends, because, or like have garbage cans and like recycling cans more accessible on the weekends, because we know a lot of the people are just gonna throw their stuff on the floor because, you know, these bins are not as accessible.
Absolutely, especially at parties, because you look down or you look at the ground and there's so much trash, and it's just, we need to figure out a better solution for it.
Yeah, I do see a lot of trash around on the ground sometimes, but usually it's on like game days and stuff like that, and during the week it's normally okay.
I think campus overall is relatively clean. However, the off-campus areas can get quite polluted with Solo cups and other random trash that isn't really controlled by the whole New York bottle return incentive. If they were to add something such as maybe a Solo cup return incentive or plastic bag return incentive, then that may be able to help the problem.
On campus, I don't think so. I haven't seen anything on campus. As an individual who's lived off campus in the community next to Syracuse, I do see a lot of like Solo cups just floating around, always rolling through my yard. I think there could probably be something done about that.
Yeah, you kind of just see it all the time. You see garbage on the ground, you see the plastic bags rolling across campus, and yeah, it's kind of a problem.
How do you feel about a nationwide plastic bag ban policy?
I definitely do agree with that, because I feel as if, you know, there's like an excess, you know, like amount of plastic bags being used. You know, when we go to the supermarket, people like double bag, you know, few items. So like if you buy like one item at the supermarket, people tend to like double bag it, and then we kind of just, a lot of people don't really reuse them, and a lot of people just throw them away. And I feel like if we do start using plastic, like paper bags, it's more easy like to recycle and to get rid of versus a plastic bag. When we just throw them in the street, it's like a lot of animals could probably like eat it.
I am so for it. Where I live currently, we just had a plastic bag banned, and it worked so well. We only distribute paper bags, and I feel like if everyone did that, then our recycling issue would be decreased significantly.
I think it's a good idea in theory, but when in practice you have things like paper bags. Paper bags are they are often sturdy and they do rip, but then you have a problem that then in and of itself with things like trees and having to cut trees down in order to make paper bags. So I think it's a good idea, but there has to be a better solution than what stores offer currently.
That would be very difficult to implement, considering how ubiquitous plastic is in all of our in our entire life. But I think that single-use items probably could start we could start phasing that out of society. Like plastic bags, we have so many plastic bags. I don't know what to do with any of them. Yeah, it could slowly be implemented, but I can't see it being something widely accepted right off the bat.
Policy.
Ooh, that would be really good, because I know they did that in Morocco, where like all plastic bags are banned and everyone just uses those like recyclable paper ones. I think it would be good. because plastic is bad and it accumulates.
I'm for it. I think that it probably can't be done overnight, but I think it's certainly doable, and I think that one would have to do some research to find out what some of the costs would be, economic costs to companies and to employees of that. But I think ultimately we should do it.
Through all of this, we were able to find credible consensus that the majority of students and faculty know the benefits of recycling. Many of them try to make recycling a daily task and think that while the university provides the resources to allow students and faculty to recycle, there seems to be universal agreement that the university can do more. Like one of the students we interviewed said, countries like Morocco have passed a ban on the production and use of plastic bags. Even more recently, the United Kingdom has just banned the production and sales of plastic straws. While the road ahead to integrate green policies will be difficult, ultimately these nations show that it is possible. So when bringing it all back to Syracuse University, there are simple things we can do on campus to make an impact globally. The university needs to stop selling and allowing plastic bag use. To make an even bigger commitment, the university should place recycling bins and compost outside, not just inside. These bins and containers should be clearly advertised. Far too many times, students and faculty just throw away plastic cups in the garbage bins outside before walking into their lecture. Students have the capacity to change this by attending SA meetings and adhering to the personal responsibility of recycling. While many students make the talk about recycling, we can clearly see come the weekend that cans, plastic cups, and trash litter our campus. There is much to do, and it will take time. But just starting dialogue, like many movements across this campus, can make thoughts a reality. It was great finding out how students and faculty felt regarding pollution on our campus. We are confident in future generations making Syracuse University an environmentally friendly place one day.